Just in the UK, the disabled people and the families have got a spending power of 274 billion per year. It's just making it as relatable to people as possible.
100%. Like I said, I can't walk past them half the time. I have to go onto the road. But I like that example of the women's toilet stuff. I think we're so far separated from that. Like you said, I think it was the 1920s.
Yeah.
We don't know about that.
No, we don't know at all. But when, like, in the grand scheme of life, 100 years, it doesn't feel that long ago.
No,
does it?
not at all.
It
But
don't feel that long ago.
when you bring it up in workshops, I bet people start tapping in then and going, "Oh, yeah, you're right." And to go back to the legislation, obviously there's not much enforcement around it. So why should organisations consider introducing provisions or improving accessibility for disabled populations? What are the incentives?
I think a big incentive for organisations, well, I always try and, I'll talk about the ethical perspective, we want to make society inclusive and all that type of stuff, but businesses have got a bottom line and things like that. So if you want to look at it from a purely business perspective, disabled people and the families, because the families of disabled people, if you're not offering a service for their family member, then they're likely to take it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So as a collective, just in the UK, the disabled people and the families have got a spending power of 274 billion per year. So it's a lot of money that businesses are losing out on by not making the provision accessible. I've got clients who every year I'll walk into their house and they've got big thick shag pile carpets, a new one every year, TVs on the walls, they're going on months cruises. Yeah. They're on top what benefits and they're entitled to them as well. But I say, why are you spending your money in this way? And it's got, we've got to get rid of it because we'll get it taken off us if we don't spend it. So that could be spent with local businesses and services if it was made more accessible to those people. So I think that's the biggest one. It's a massive untapped market. It's a potential market you can spend a lot of money with. I don't know any business, especially at the minute, who can afford to be excluding groups of people. And some of the changes, they're not a lot of money. Some of the stuff is, when you're marketing, are you marketing through channels that disabled people might engage with? That doesn't cost a lot of money. It just takes a bit of thought beforehand. The other side of it is, I think sometimes it's not money for people, it's the time that it'll take to do that initial bit of thinking.
Yeah.
So, but with a little bit of thought, you can engage untapped markets, you can get more income, get more footfall, and your offer will improve and become more accessible for others because of it.
Yeah, maybe just putting it on their radar. That's a massive amount of money. What's generally the reception when you telling businesses the spending power of disabled people?
Some people don't believe it. It's not my research. It's by Scope, a big national disabled people's organisation that specialises in research. So it's called the Purple Pound. So I think there's a bit of disbelief there and wow. And then you get some people who it won't change anything. It's still a load of hassle to try and put these changes in place. But you get the majority of the group going, wow, we do need to do something here. But I think the other thing with around disabled people is people don't like the thought of taking money off disabled people. So I don't like when I bring up that figure, I don't think anyone's ears prick up like, oh, this is a massive market that we should be taking money from, because I think because what we were talking about before about the institutionalisation of disabled people has also been a massive charitable way of looking at disabled people, as though disabled people should be given things for free, we need to do them favours and stuff like that, and I don't necessarily think that perspective helps disabled people.
No.
So I don't know, it's the first time I've thought about it actually, but I don't know whether people's reaction, if you said it about another group of people, they're worth that amount of money, or there was a market, let's get people out of the equation, if you said that market's worth that amount of money, a lot of businesses would be all over it. But I think when you make it about people, and especially disabled people, given that people don't want to be seen to be taking money off disabled people, even though some have got a lot of money to spend on things.
Yeah.
I think that can be a blocker sometimes for people, but it's still worth knowing, because it will prick some people's ears up.
Yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't say it's taking money off them. They're choosing to spend that money, and they want to spend it. So instead of that new TV or carpet, they're using it to access a gym or walking group or however else they kind of want to spend the time, and they're not being able to because of these barriers.
Yeah, it's just viewing disabled people as people and saying, as any customer, they don't want to spend the money. And the disabled people that we support to access activities, they pay for the activities. That's part of the because we want to get people to the point where they don't need us anymore. Yeah. So we don't pay for anything. We don't apply for any funding. We will work with people, help them identify what they're interested in, walking, gardening, the gym, sports, whatever it might be. We'll go out and find those activities, make them accessible where they need to be, and then it's down to them to pay for it. And we're there for about 8 weeks to support them to access it and build up a bit of confidence and get a routine going and stuff. But then everything should be set up for them after the 8 weeks to continue paying for it and going. And that's where the majority of the people that we work with end up. They keep going beyond our support because we're doing all that groundwork initially to get them used to paying for things and get them used to going. And
I love that how they're not reliant on you then.
Yeah, that's the point.
Give them the skills and tools, the confidence of just getting in the gym, like you said, then they can continue on from there, that journey. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, click here to get the full episode, and don't forget to subscribe.